Welcome to the Psychic Mediumship College. Thank you for joining us here today to experience what it's like to learn with us. Hi, I'm Bronwyn. For over 15 years, I've dedicated myself to mastering psychic and mediumship, investing countless hours to deliver exceptional quality in my work. Each year, I perform over 400 readings and teach more than 200 students, helping them connect with their spiritual potential. My mission is to inspire transformation and empower authentic growth. With 10 years of experience in the corporate banking industry, recognized as the youngest senior manager in the field. Internationally certified as a master teacher by Lisa Williams and LWISSD in the USA. I am a certified international meditation teacher, holistic counselor, and holistic life coach, specializing in advanced metaphysics and parapsychology. Also a certified spiritual advisor with expertise in psychic, mediumship, and spiritual healing. Additionally, an international best-selling author of A Resilient Life.
So welcome to this class. I'm going to run you through a couple of things that we're going to cover. By the end of this session, you are going to know how your psychic senses work, which ones are activated, and have skills on how to enhance them. My name is Bronwyn Jane. I'm the founder of the Psychic Mediumship College. I help people develop their psychic senses, intuition, and mediumship ability to enhance their gifts and their connection. Working with people that struggle with self-doubt, controlling and understanding their gifts, lack of confidence, lack of technical skills, and lack of connection. And by helping these people, they're then able to use these skills and abilities for themselves, to be able to also help others, to be able to use their intuition and psychic senses to navigate their life, or even their mediumship abilities to be able to connect with their loved ones in spirit and to live a life of purpose. So how is it going to work? Let me tell you how the next 60 minutes or so is going to work. I'm going to cover, as I said, what psychic senses are, how yours are showing up, how to enhance them, signs if they're activating or not, give you some exercises so you can apply them. And for those that feel inclined, how to get more help. Now, as you have ascertained, I talk really fast. So there is that. The other thing is, and I just did it, I say so way too much. So I'm going to ask for a little bit of leeway as we go through this process. I'm also going to engage with you as if you are here. So even though this is pre-recorded, and I've done it pre-recorded because we have students all around the world, and my live free classes do not suit everyone's schedule. And so this is a way that you can have exactly the same experience that those that can attend live, that you can attend. So it's get the information, you're going to get all the resources that anyone that comes to one of the live classes gets. And so I've got you covered no matter where you are in the world. As that video said, I do readings. I teach, and in the last couple of years, we've done about 7,000 hours in teaching, and in the last few years, about 2,500 readings. I take all that knowledge from those experiences, integrate it myself so I can then share it. So I'm not just taking the rhetoric of others, teachers, ghosts in the past type of thing. I take from what I actually am learning to be able to really share it in a way that makes it simple and easy. So even though you can pause this, what I'm going to ask of you is to be really present, because what you get out of this is basically on you based on how you show up now. So get rid of any distractions and get a pen and paper. So definitely do that. Think about also why you're going to dedicate this amount of time to this video. I know that my intention for this video is to be of service. To be able to give you what I can in a very short period of time to be able to move you forward in some way. That's why all the resources are going to be below this video that you need to be able to help you. Now, I want to think you to think about this. What is your biggest challenge with learning? Now, when I started my journey, and it's kind of everywhere about me. Like as a young child, I had my experiences with spirit. I grew up in the country in a religious family, so this was not accepted at all. And there was no points of reference on for me on who I was, what I did, or anything like that. I was told as a really young child that what I shared about my grandfather after he passed, that it scared my family. I was told that what I did was against God. I was talking to the devil. It was Satan's work, all kinds of things. This was said to a 7-year-old child. I was also told that what I said scared people and to stop. I processed that as I scared people. Once again, I was 7 years old. I scare people. So therefore, I'm not going to speak what I experienced. Changed who I was, changed my trajectory, changed how I showed up. And I would say it's probably why I'm an introvert. But do I hold those that said that to me responsible and have ill feelings to them? No, they didn't know. They really had no idea what they were doing. That's the difference between conscious and unconscious parents. So, when I decided that I needed to understand who I was and what I was experiencing, I was sought out a teacher. Awesome lady. Not a great teacher. Awesome human though. When I went into my first class, there was a lot of assumed knowledge, assumed that I knew what a chakra was. I had no idea. I'd been living under a rock. Didn't know what a chakra was, had to go and look it up later. Uh, I was also given exercises to do, and I didn't know if I was doing them correctly or not because there was no outcome described. So I didn't know what I was experiencing, if that was right or not. So my ego and that spiritual chatter that was in there trying to sabotage me was really loud. Remember, it had been in me for, 30 something years because I was told all this was not real. It was made up and, all this stuff. And so then when I was experiencing things, trying to understand it, it's like all those voices got really loud. So I had no points of reference if what I was experiencing was accurate. I am a corporate banker. I'm logical. I'm science based. Like that's who I am. And so trusting things and just because, right, answers is not going to roll with me. I didn't know how or why what I was experiencing. I didn't understand it. And so I couldn't just take it on blind faith. It made it so much harder for me to move through my beliefs and stories because I didn't have all the information on why something was happening. I didn't know, as I said, if I was getting it correct or not. I sat in a class, everyone was a seer. They could clairvoyant, they could see all the things. Mine was black, right? Nothing. I had nothing. But did it sound like I was listening to a radio? Yes. But no one else was like that. So I'm like, I don't know, right? Like I really had no idea. And what I needed was all I wanted to do was to be able to see because I was in a group of seeing. I needed tools. I was given a lot of exercises. I wasn't given tools. I needed a methodology to be able to know what was happening. That's what I needed. It took me years and years to be able to see. I didn't understand why it wasn't working for me, why I couldn't see, didn't understand why it was being blocked. I had no awareness. And it meant that it took 15 years of learning because I didn't get all the information that was required as a beginner so I could understand the experiences and move through this. What I learned in that 15 years, I was the problem. I was creating the blocks. No one had told me that. I also learned that how my body and mind works in this process and the quantum aspect of energy, the scientific process. With that knowledge, I was able to shift. As I said, 15 years shouldn't take that long. I took all the information that I had gathered over that 15 years and put it in a sequential order that I needed at the time. I didn't need it by then, but that's what I did. I put it in an order that I knew beginners needed so they could not take 15 years. They could understand this in a really short period of time, a matter of months, to be able to move through the challenges of learning. Because when I grew up, I had some gifts, I'm going to call it, bestowed upon me. Gotta love gifts that aren't awesome. And some of that was being called a know-it-all because I knew things that other people didn't know. I would walk up to someone or into a space and I knew if it was great or not. I knew if someone was lying or not. I knew if something was going to happen. Sometimes those events were overseas and then it would be verified by watching the news. I knew how to navigate relationships, how to make certain decisions, whether to go for certain jobs, make certain friends, date certain people, because I was trusting my abilities. Did I share it with people where it came from? No, I didn't. Did I help my friends with their life choices? Yes. Did I tell them where it came from? No, I didn't. Because one of the gifts I was given was your words scare people. And where it comes from is not real. It's the devil's work, all the things. But when I trusted what I got, life was in flow, life was easier. When I listened to this, it didn't work out. Things went wrong. Things took longer. That's what I learned. If any of this is resonating with you, let it land because I know I am not special and I know I am not unique in this space. I've encountered enough people on this journey over the 15 years to know that this is common, either all of it or part of it. It's what we experience. So let's kind of dive into our clairs. So we're going to go through and identify them. Now, our clairs, sometimes called psychic senses, are how we translate information, how we process it. So clairvoyance, seeing. Clairaudience, hearing. Claircognizance, knowing. Clairsentient, feeling. Clairgusto, taste. Clairolfactory, smelling. Now, if you don't remember anything else I share with you here, here's the gold. Never use the industry words clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairgusto, or the clair. Don't. Here's the why. Because it's creating a block for you. It's actually creating two blocks. One, you have to remember, what does clairolfactory mean? Clairgusto, what does it mean? Clairsentient, what does it mean? Your brain has to process it because you don't know. Block one. Block two, your brain is going to go clairvoyance. Nope. It's going to ping your it's a part of your brain, sometimes referred to the croc brain. It's going to ping and go, I don't feel safe. This isn't normal. There's a whole lot of stories that were put into me at some point in time that this is made up. You shouldn't be able to do this. And it's going to fire and it's going to create a block. It's going to go, I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe. That's what's going to happen. It's going to happen so fast, you're not even going to notice. But if you say, I see, I hear, I feel, I taste, I smell, your brain's going to be like, oh, she does that. He does that automatically. Okay. It's not going to activate because it's used to, because of the physical senses, doing those processes. And so it's not going to get in the way. And you haven't had to translate what the words are. So you see, you hear, you feel, you know, energy, spirit. No more clear words. As I said, if you don't take anything else away from our time together here, make that your golden rule. It is a massive block. And it's the one that I'm going to say, get it out of your space. When we don't know how to translate energy, when we don't know how to do this, right, we are going to mislabel what we experience. We're also going to miss messages. We're going to get them wrong. We're going to miss warnings. And we're going to either get the wrong guidance or misinterpret it or just miss it all together. When we can translate energy, and sometimes we can learn this through books or videos, but you can only learn it to a point. So YouTube's only going to get you so far. Books is only going to get you so far. Because in this space, you need to be able to feel it, process it, and then have it verified so you can build up the way that you work, because we are all different. We've all got different toolboxes here, and we're going to have different experiences. And so a book is not going to cover everything. A YouTube video is not going to cover everything. You're going to need to be able to have live spontaneity responses. Can't even get the words out properly. You're going to have those responses so you can verify this. When you get this right and you know how to do this, this is your navigation system. You know what job to go for, you know what to buy, you know who to talk to. Life gets in flow and it gets really, really easy. You can have a strong connection with your spirit guide or your loved ones in spirit because they never go anywhere, ever. You're able to navigate life really, really easily and get daily guidance for you that's useful. But also, you might want to take this to the next level and be able to help others and live with purpose. Everyone translates energy differently, and this is why YouTubes and books only get you so far, because you have a unique toolbox that is yours only, and it's based on your body, your subconscious, the way your brain operates. There is a biological and neurological aspect to this work. It's not all woo-woo. It really isn't. And we all have a toolbox, we all have a body, we all have a subconscious, we all have a brain, and therefore we can all do this. People just tell us we can't. This is our natural way of being. This is the way we communicated when we were first born. We would sense if someone felt safe or not, because that's their frequency. If it resonated with us or not, we did. That's why some babies will cry when certain people come around. It's not that the person's bad, their frequency is different. Animals use this to survive, relying on their intuition, their ability to be able to sense. We don't rely on it as much because we are distracted with the outside world and lost touch with our inside world. We are distracted with things in our hands, phones. We're distracted by people. We're distracted by the noise of the society telling us what we should believe, experience, and what is true rather than what is true. What kind of impact would it have on your life if you knew how to understand your messages and trust your ability? I already told you how it's impacted me, but I haven't told you the main one. The reason why I teach is this. Now, you shared a really fast little story about me as a child, but that experience actually separated part of me. As a child, I was fully integrated until I had those experiences. And then I became, there was an aspect that I rejected, that spiritual aspect of me. Now, it was like wandering through the desert until I started to put that back into me in my 40s. The reason why I teach is because when you fully integrate your spiritual aspect of you, your spiritual self, you will feel whole unlike anything else can do. Some of us try and feel whole through relationships, like, thinking that someone's going to complete us. Some of us try and feel whole through maybe exercise, work, uh, charity, shopping, eating, drinking, drugs, all kinds of things. None of it will make you feel whole. None of it. Because the thing that's missing is this part of you that has been denied. When I accepted it fully and understood it and started to use it and all the things, is when the amount of peace that I feel, you can't experience it in any other way. It does not matter what's happening in my outside world. It really doesn't. And I have all kinds of things happening in my outside world, just like you. But my inside world is centered, it is peaceful, it is complete. This is why I teach this, because I want every single person to have that, to have the peace. So let's have a look at your senses. I'm going to pull up a slideshow. I was trying to find the word slideshow, and we're going to run through that. Okay. So identifying your psychic clairs. Uh, Now, just bear with me. This is not perfect, but it is. It will be for you to download. You'll be able to download this, and any little bumps and bruises in this will be corrected. So just bear with me as we run through this. So our feeling sense. So clairsentient is what the industry calls it. So this is our ability to pick up information, either emotions or sensations in our body. Someone that has this activated, they are going to notice things in a feeling space. So you might be quite empathetic to other people's emotions. You could also be very connected to animals, the environment, and really get lost in that space. Like it's a real reset space for you. Being alone will be really important for you to feel energized. So sometimes you're going to need a time by yourself where you are going to just kind of just connect into your own space, your own emotions, your own energy. If you're in another environment, you might walk into a shop or someone's home and you're going to notice shifts in the energy. You could notice it as a vibrational shift, but you also could notice it as a temperature shift or just kind of the emotions, like, oh, this kind of feels weird or feels, sticky or something. Um, you are going to sense someone's emotional state without speaking. So these are the empaths where they just kind of know how someone's traveling. You're also going to notice your own inner state on a vibrational level. You're going to notice how you get impacted by others. You could seem really, really drained after being around certain people. You're going to notice what we call spirit presence. So you might notice little tingles and things like this, and get what we call intuit downloads coming into you. You so yeah. With our just sorry guys, I told you there's a couple of little things in this that'll be fixed. With our seeing, someone that's got a strength in the seeing space will notice the language. They'll say I see quite a lot in their wording. Colors, symbols, mental movies in the mind's eye will be really strong for them. They might even notice bright flashes, orbs, just seeing colors around people or plants or animals. So seeing the aura, uh, noticing shadowy figures at the corner of the eye or fog, mist, light, anomalies. These are all spirit beings or even actually seeing spirit. These people will have a really active imagination, and it really take over really quickly. They will see things in stories, and scenarios, even when problem solving, so they can see their dreams, goals, and desires in great detail as they are doing what they're doing. So they're able to work really visual. When it's really activating for someone, you will love drawing, painting, design, could be decorating. So you're also going to be able to solve problems like a puzzle in your mind. When meditating, you will see things. So you might see colors, you might see symbols, you might see scenes. You're going to process information as images rather than words. So you might be someone that when you're learning, you're going to be better in watching a video on how to do something rather than reading the instructions. Your dreams are going to be prolific, very colorful, feel very, very real. You're going to receive guidance through numbers, signs, images coming into your reality. So you're just going to notice things. You may get a sensation, so it could be pressure, could be tingling in your forehead around your third eye. That's going to indicate that any blocks and things like this are being moved. And you're also going to just notice things visually far more. So just going to be someone like if something gets moved in your house, just a little bit, you're even going to notice it. So you're going to recognize things being moved visually and just notice the color of things far more. If we are in the knowing space, so claircognizance, if that's one of our things, when we get our warnings and nudges about people and situations, we're just going to kind of go near them and we're going to know stuff. Um, we're going to be able to join the dots of things like big pictures and concepts where other people just can't see how things link together. But someone in this space can just see that they can understand complex concepts really quickly without an explanation at all or very little explanation. You find yourself answering your own questions, even if you weren't really thinking about them. Like things will just pop into your brain, light bulb moments. You are also going to get all kinds of information that kind of just drops in fully formed and with such certainty. Like no one can tell you that this is not the truth of what something is. If you have ideas or need answers, uh, going to bed with that in your mind, you know, will wake up with the answer in the morning. You also will be quite a deep thinker. You're going to understand universal truths and drawn to philosophy in a way that others aren't. You're also going to know about what's coming in the future. There's going to be no logical reason why you know what you know. Sometimes you're going to feel like you're getting information, but you don't really know where it's coming from. You could even be communicating and not sure where it's coming from. These types of people are going to say, I know a lot. They're also going to have really strong gut feelings. As I said, spontaneous ideas, solutions, creative downloads that come from nowhere. They're going to know logical things or know things about people or situations, but there's no reason that they know it. They just know. They're predicting outcomes and they're going to be very accurate. They're also going to be able to finish what someone else is going to say or what they're thinking or know what someone's thinking about. They're just going to have that awareness. They are going to be able to process information far faster mentally than others. Their brain just operates at a whole different level. With our people that hear, so if we're inclined to hear, you're going to say, I hear you, I hear what you're saying. You're going to hear words, phrases, or full messages internally or externally, which are separate from your thoughts. So it's going to be occurring quite often internally. You're going to pick up music, whispers, knocks, all kinds of sounds that others can't hear. Your inner voice is going to be really wise, clear, and distinct from your normal thinking. You are going to get information in that words, sentences, or ideas as if it's spoken to you. Like it's actually said in your head. You often will hear unexplained ringing, buzzing, or frequency shifts in the ear. You'll notice background noises, tones, or really subtle sounds that other people don't even notice. It's like, oh, did you hear that sound? And they'll be like, nope. Song lyrics and melodies will suddenly give you information or messages or confirm something. So they speak to you. You will process your thoughts aloud. So you're going to talk aloud sometimes and have conversations in your mind with yourself. So there's our people that hear. When this is activating, they are going to say that I hear you a lot, like I know, like I get it. They're also going to be in that space where they can't be in really loud, noisy environments. So big malls or shopping centers that are really loud, even the volume of television or music they're not going to have the same tolerance as others. They're going to gather knowledge through audiobooks, podcasts, and verbal instructions rather than reading it. So if you're learning something, you're going to, be able to listen to something rather than read the manual. You are also going to be able to pick up information from lectures and conversations. So you're going to hear things. When you're in a quiet space, that's going to be your sanctuary. So you're really also going to enjoy reading by yourself as well. You're going to notice unexplained sounds that shift, right? And that could be a connection to spirit. You're also going to get guidance from words. So you could just be sitting there and just hear a different conversation and pick up on that. When someone's talking to you, you're also going to get information about them as they're speaking. You're going to understand the layers of what something is being said, not just what is being said when we are someone that is hearing. So these are our psychic senses. So how they show up for us. When I was a child, what I didn't realize that I became aware of later was that everything that I experienced was not weird, not unusual. So my mum telling me to stop sharing about my grandfather because it upset people. My experience with him meant that even though he passed, I still had a connection with him. So I didn't lose him like everyone else did. My imaginary friends, they weren't imaginary. They weren't. They were ancestors and other people in spirit that I was having a connection with. What I wasn't aware of until I got older was that other people's fears, other people's expectations, other people's belief systems were impacting my connection. I didn't understand that. So I struggled to overcome this because I didn't learn how it worked. I didn't understand what really was happening. What I learned over the years was that my automatic nervous system was part of this process. But if it's triggered and it's highly stressed, then I'm going to miss information. I needed to learn how to manage my parasympathetic nervous system. So I was able to translate information. I needed to understand my conscious mind and my subconscious mind and how it impacted my abilities. I needed to learn how to focus and control my brain because the energy is very subtle. I needed to understand the body, the heart connection in translating the actual heart, not chakra, not the chakra people, actual heart, the heart and the body in the connection and translation. When we understand these, we understand how to open and close to energy, how to feel people's emotions, how to make decisions based on what we're picking up, whether something is safe for us or not, whether how to heal relationships and how to connect to spirit. These are all things that we can use these abilities for. When something's going to happen, so we can make decisions based on that. When we understand how this works, everything shifts and changes. When we're sensitive to energy, we can make mistakes. If we don't know how to do this properly, we're not going to know what's ours and what's someone else's. We're also going to think that every emotion that we have, every experience that we have is us, and it's not. It's going to impact relationships and it's going to impact the way that we respond. When we can't control our connection and we can't control our connection to spirit, then it impacts how we show up in our everyday life. I know because I see it all the time. So when we think about energy, we're constantly absorbing energy. We can't help it. Depending on how distracted we are, how we show up in life, will determine how this impacts us. In this space, we need to protect our energy. Now, you may have heard of like a protective bubble. That's great, right? I will say this, it dissolves. No one tells you it dissolves. It lasts about 6 hours, and you can put multiple layers and different frequencies in there. The first thing that you should do when you get up is protect your energy. I don't care who you live with. I don't care how much you love them. It's like get up, go to the toilet, energy bubble around you. Just because you love someone doesn't mean you want to feel their bad mood or their headache or their ache and pain, whatever it is. You don't need to absorb that because then that's energetic work that you have to release. So you put a barrier around you. You're also going to, when you pick up emotions, ask, is it mine or not? If it's not yours, send it back to where it came from. And if it's yours, deal with it. When you put the energetic bubble around you, make sure you put it around all of you. Here's the rookie mistake that everyone does. They do not cover their transpersonal point. They do not cover their earth star, and they actually cut their aura in half, and that's why they still feel things. Your bubble or your big cube, right? I don't care what shape you use. Make it thick, right? Don't make it like some people do bubble and it looks like a soap bubble. No, right? No, people don't do that. This needs to be thick. Think of like an aquarium, like a big, thick aquarium that you go and, public aquarium. Big and thick glass. On the inside, you can put whatever frequency energy you want in there to feel like, woo, awesome, right? And you can do layers, up to 3 layers of protection. So you can, depending on your environment. So it could just be normal, clear, white light, but it's not light. It's this thick glass. And then you could put some beautiful loving energy in there. It could be nice pink mist. If you're learning, it could be yellow. If you're going to hang around other people, it could be purple in there. Or you could do layers. And if you're in a really toxic environment, you could put a shield of lead around it and send all the ick back, right? It will dissolve. You need to do this every day. A normal standard little bubble around you, 6 hours. That's all you're going to get out of it. Transpersonal point, 30 centimeters or 1 foot above your head. Earth star, it's actually in the earth. Same distance, 30 centimeters or a foot below your feet. That's how high it needs to go. Now, as far as how wide it needs to go, depending on your mood, because your aura It's going to change with your mood and your environment. But standard, right? Standard. About as far as your arm stretches out is a rough guide, right? Rough guide. If you're like, woo, super happy, it's going to go out further. So you're going to need to push it, your protection around it further. If you're like, I don't feel so great, it's going to get pulled in. So your aura goes in and out with how you feel. But standard, meter and a half, how far your arm stretches out, roughly, that's what you're going to do. Big bubble. Don't cut it in the middle of your aura because you're going to pick up still stuff. All right. And the last thing before you go to bed, you are going to release everything that you have picked up. So you're going to send back all the energy that's not yours before you go to bed. Pull all your energy back and say this to your team, even if you don't know who they are. They know who they are. Trust me. Protect my body and soul while I sleep. That's what you're going to do. It's your last thing to pull all that in. And you're going to do that all the time now, all the time. If you're picking up emotions, check in, mine or not. If it's not, send it back to where it belongs, even if you don't know where it belongs. Just send it back. You do not need to feel everything you are feeling. All right, so I'm aware of our time and I want to share one more thing with you. And this is little pro tips to enhance your abilities. If you want to enhance your feeling ability, some pro tips are be really aware of your body. How does your left little toe feel? How does it feel your knee feel? How does your kidney feel? Be really aware of your body. That way, when you are picking up energy, you are going to notice the subtle changes. If you do not have a baseline of how you feel, you are not going to notice when energy shifts and changes. You're also going to trust your gut. Trust it. You are going to practice deep breathing. This will remove energy blocks and heighten your ability to be able to sense emotions. When you go into a space you are not familiar with, so this could be someone else's home, an office space, feel the atmosphere. Close your eyes and feel what it feels like. Compare it to when you're in other spaces. To start noticing the subtle density shifts of different locations. So scan the energy of a room. You're going to observe your moods if they suddenly change or not, because that is going to tell you if you are picking up information and not knowing where it's coming from. You are going to journal your emotions. How are you feeling? Look for patterns that are coming up. What kind of emotions are coming up for you? If you've got the opportunity to hold objects, pick up objects that would have emotions stored on them and see what you are getting. Strengthen your empathy by really listening. Limit your exposure to negative environments, negative people. Don't get overwhelmed. Work with crystals. There are many crystals that you can work with, but a couple to start with is selenite and amethyst to enhance your connection. Be very aware of you engaging and touching things and be really present in regards to how does this particular fabric feel in my hand. Allow yourself to sit in silence every day for at least 5 minutes. Simple things that are a great starter for developing the sense of feeling. If you want to develop the sense of seeing through meditation, focus on being able to see objects, colors, or scenes to strengthen your inner sight. Practice working on your symbology. Journal your dreams. What's coming through there? The more you focus on, the more it will become. Notice your environment visually. as if you had to paint it all the colors. Practice scrying through a crystal ball, mirror, bowl of water. Allow your third eye to activate by bringing down glowing indigo light into it to expand it with breath. And do imagery meditations. Work with oracle cards and flashcards to practice knowing what's on the other side. Limit the clutter in your space so you're not overstimulated. Work with light energy. Work in any space to allow you to develop your creativity, drawing, painting, any of it. If we want to develop our knowing, practice automatic writing. Sit there and allow the information to flow through you. Develop a mindfulness practice so you can be present. Ask for guidance, pose a question before you go to sleep or before you meditate, and notice what answer comes up. Stop overthinking, stop second guessing yourself, and allow it to just come through. Create free writing space. Allow yourself to write and write and write without stopping. Trust the first thought that you get. Don't second guess it. Keep that ego quiet. You need to expand your knowledge, learn about other topics, other cultures, to expand your unconscious mind. Avoid distractions, mental clutter, get it out. Create a space to allow you to reflect on things. So deep reflection will also help. Do any kind of problem solving exercises or books, little quiz books to help you. Ask yes, no questions and practice receiving the information without second guessing it. For those that want to develop their hearing, we need to work in the sound space. So any sound meditation, allow yourself time to work with that. Practice deep listening. Really listen to music or people. If you notice high-pitched tones or buzzing in your ears, this is because you are noticing spirit messages or energy frequency shifting and changing. Stop overthinking and listen to the words that are coming in. Don't question them, just note them. Notice messages that you receive in music. Notice the layers of music. Notice the melodies as they come in. Speak aloud your thoughts. Verbalizing your thoughts and the messages will strengthen your ability to hear. Recognize any repeat words or phrases that are coming through or ideas and note them down. I want you to whisper to yourself and focus on hearing it. This is great ways to expand your abilities. So let me just stop that share. I've given you a heap of things for you to do. Now, you can activate your clairs in all kinds of ways to manage your energy. You can do this the slow way or you can do this the fast way. The slow way is exactly what I did, right? The fast way is the way that the people that work with me, how they do it. So the slow way is going to be unstructured. You're going to do it yourself. You're going to use old methods and you're going to do it in your own time at your own pace, just reading books or watching YouTube videos. And you're going to get as far as you get. Truly. I know, I've been there. Trial and error. Decade and a half of doing it. Or you can do it the fast way, like my students do. I've had students that have started as baby beginners, no information at all. And within 6 to 9 months, some of them are working in the industry because they've been given the fast way how to do it. So I promised you earlier on that for those that were inclined, I was going to give information so you could how to move forward in this. Now, I'm pretty direct. I'm going to tell you the way it is. This is not for everyone. It really isn't. If you don't like mixed learning environments, so by that I mean, working at your own pace, in your own time, self-study, and then joining a support community with group education or one-to-one education, then this is not for you. If you don't like videos, if you don't like audios, workbooks, handouts, meditations, and written information, because it's a mixed content, then this isn't for you, because this is all that it is. It's not for you. But if you like grounded, structured education that is practical with a community behind you to help you and support, guidance, teachers to help you, then this is for you. So, based on my journey, what I've created is build a course that has solid foundation for everything that you need in the intuition and psychic space, from how to open and close, how to connect, who's your spiritual team, how to connect to them, how to read with tools, uh, chakras, pendulums, oracle cards, everything that I wish that I knew that didn't take me 15 years to gather. So I'm going to run through some information and show you about this. And for those that know that they've gone as far as they can go by themselves and they're looking for something else. So bear with me while we do this.